rookie contract extension. The deal also has a player option for the 2030-31 season, the first time a rookie max extension has had a player option since 2021. He was the 22-23 NBA Rookie of the Year and earned his first All-Star selection in 2024. The Indiana Pacers have confirmed that Tyrese Halliburton will miss the entire 2025-2026 season after surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. He was hurt in Game 7 of the NBA Finals last month with Oklahoma City, going on to win the game and their first title in franchise history. Without Halliburton, the Pacers were outscored 56-43 in the second half as Oak City finished off a 103-91 victory. Halliburton's a two-time All-Star. He scored 9 points with 3 3-pointers before leaving that game. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Ever find a deal so good you think, should I tell my friends or keep it to myself? That's Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals. Styles for sunny days, home favorites for your space, and more. All at prices you'll love. Plus, earn Kohl's Cash. Discover new deals daily and get free shipping. These deals are too good not to share. Once you've stocked up first. Shop Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals now. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end July 10th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
It's a sweet deal. All you gotta do is just listen and start winning. We can't make it any simpler. Yeah, we'd be lying if we told you we hadn't considered asking for a cut. Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The only place in football where the offense is always on the field is on Moneyline. With the two best hosts in radio, Donnie Rightside.
If anybody wasn't watching, listen, I don't know what you were doing.
And Kevin Walsh.
Forget act like you've been there before.
On the SportsGrid Radio Network, Sirius XM Channel 159.
Oh, the best every day now officially underway. You know what time it is? It is Moneyline. It's your boy DRS out here with Kevin Walsh. Sirius XM Channel 159 right here on the SportsGrid Network. Good time to be here. Hot and soupy in the Northeast today. A huge Major League Baseball card. And away we go with a lot of hot topics. Kevin, how do we feel today? It's a Tuesday, midsummer months, and away we go.
Feel good. I feel a little bit like you yesterday with the baseball slate where if it was just a dinger Tuesday, I think it would have done all right. But it wasn't, and I was parlaying some hit-run RBI stuff, and, you know, the main guy came in, but it doesn't matter if the rest of them don't. And, you know, you're kind of left without the profitable day you were hoping for. So, I don't know. Like, my fear now is it's, you know, Dinger Tuesday if you still celebrate.
Brutal.
And it's like, well, yesterday would have worked out home run-wise, so that doesn't make me feel all too good about how today could potentially work out home run-wise. But it's definitely a nice baseball card.
Yeah, a couple good shots here. The Phillies probably won't score more than 1 run again tonight out in San Francisco. That game is certainly not going over the total in that one. We'll get to some Major League Baseball as we get there, but I do have some hot topics as I hit the retweet button here. Yes, our show is live and ready to go on demand if you want to watch it here on YouTube. A lot of people already out in the chat box. Jordan P. and Aaron out here having some fun. But understand this, Kevin. We come up next week. It is the All-Star break in Major League Baseball, which means home run derby. And I'm going to say this right now. Like, I just saw Byron Buxton's going to participate. Shout out to the people who actually want to participate. The big dumper's in there, Cal Raleigh, that's all fine and good. But the people that we need to be in the home run derby All-Star weekend aren't there, Kevin. The Stantons, they got to be there. The Judges, they got to be there. The Otanis, they got to be there. Why aren't we there, Kevin? Like, and don't tell me that because players they mess up my swing. These guys play home run derby you ever go to a batting practice in Major League Baseball? They're playing home run derby every single day here, but yet they don't want to do it on the biggest stage. Why would you not want to do that? Like, why would you not want to?
They've done it before.
So
they're not going to do the home run derby every single year.
Alonso? Where's the polar bear at?
And that's good for But Donnie, Pete did it for what, 4, 5 years in a row?
10 years in a row, make it.
Yeah,
What
that's
else is he good for in baseball?
I mean, Pete Alonso's having an incredible season, so
Exactly.
he's
he should
been
be hitting home runs
fantastic.
So what, if you're not having a good season, you go to home run derby? Like, well, how's it explained? Like, how do we do it?
No, I think, Donnie, the home run derby is something that, you want everyone to do at least once, but it's not expected that you're going to see these guys more than that. You love it, but it's not how it works. There's no incentive for Aaron Judge to do this for his entire career, or Stanton. It's ridiculous. Barry Bonds didn't do that, so why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You make me commissioner right now. You know the lengths I'm going to. Oh, you don't want to be in home run derby? You sit out the next month. How about that? Good for the game of baseball. If I'm the commissioner, use that clause, Kevin. That's in the best interest of baseball. These guys need to be out there. And if they're not, how about this? You don't even get to play in the All-Star. You don't get to the All-Star game then. If you are in the All-Star game, which Aaron Judge is, that's mandatory. Invited. Like, okay, I understand it. But home run derby, you put the biggest boppers out there and let them just hit missile after missile after missile. Don't you remember the one down in Miami, which was my favorite one of all time?
Judge and Stanton.
Used to be a thing. Stanton used to be a thing. Judge used to be a thing in these things. And they were hitting rockets where your head was falling off with each swing because it was like, I can't believe how far these guys hit it. Like, by the way, Giancarlo Stanton, that should just be your job in baseball. Like, you should be like an ambassador at this point. All you do is go to home run derby. That's what, and he's not going to be in the home run derby.
No, first of all, I wouldn't let Stanton anywhere near that, because somehow that hamstring's going to go during a home run derby, and he doesn't even round bases. I wouldn't trust that. Again, I don't know, DRS. Like, you get worked up about this every year.
I do,
but it's silly. Again, like, the home run derby is not every year just the same X amount of guys.
But also, why would a player not want to compete in a home run derby? Like, that's the part I don't even understand.
I think you do understand.
Fun of the sport. The fun of the sport is like, watch me crush this baseball and have everybody eating out of the palm of my hand. Has anybody ever looked at, home run derby? Like, ooh, that ruined my image. Like, what? What are we doing?
No. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's just, look, I'll do it once, but I'm not going to participate in it every single year. Like, I think you're at this point too, Donnie, and I'm not saying, oh, poor them, but I think you get to this point now with these all-star games. I am sure for some of these guys, like, yeah, it's an honor to be there. But like, I wonder if Judge like side eyes Volpe. It's like, so I got to go to Atlanta for this whole thing, and you get to go to the tropics with the missus and the kids. Like, right. I don't really understand this.
It's the Manny Ramirez rule. I can't believe I just got voted to the All-Star game. Hey, Commish, can I skip this? No, we'll find the absolute hell out of you if you just miss this because you want to go to the Dominican and have a good time. But I'm with you on that. Like the midweek, some of these players, like, they've been going at, and again, they train all year round, professional athletes, but you show up in, like, I don't know, second week of February. Every day you are working all the way through to the All-Star break, which is months. It's like, hey, man, I get 4 or 5 days. We're going to play early on a Sunday. I got a plane ticket or a jet waiting for me. I'm going to go pick up the wife. I'm going to go pick up the boys. We are headed to like Tahiti for 3 or 4 days, to Vegas, to an island that you rented out for yourself. It's like, this is way better than being at a baseball park, watching people in home run derby and work out and walking the red carpet. I'm with you on that.
Now, I have another all-star question for you.
Yeah.
Did Clayton Kershaw announce this was going to be his last season and I missed it?
No.
Well, then why is he in the All-Star game?
The special Legends edition, which I said should be opened up to everybody, which means like Barry Bonds.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Ryan Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies. Like, Derek Jeter can just make an appearance for like the American League.
Did someone slip, Rob Manfred a paper like, Kershaw just got 3,000? Like, man, put him in the All-Star game. It's like, what?
Exactly. It's like, hey, you know what? The All-Star game's in L.A. This would be really cool to have him there. Just got his 3,000 strikeout. It's in Atlanta. Like, he just might get booed when he gets in the game.
Is he even going to pitch? Like, is he even going to pitch?
Yeah, I think he has to now, doesn't it? Like, he's not really ridiculous. Worthy of an All-Star game. So then he's going to pitch in the All-Star game.
That's so dumb. Like, that's so. Again, if it was his last season, and it's like, listen, like, we just want to have a Kershaw moment. That's fine. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, I'm all good with that. But Like, I wonder if Kershaw's looking around like, I don't understand. I'm not leaving. Like, why am I an honorary legend here? Like, I'm in the starting rotation for the World Series favorites.
Yep. And it should be like, hey, you know what? They're going to make you pitch the entire way. And by the way, Major League Baseball not getting underway until next Friday. And that's just paint. Like Monday, Tuesday.
What's the last day?
Wednesday, or Sunday. Sunday's the last day of games. And no Monday, no Tuesday, no Wednesday, no Thursday. And then Friday they get back out there, which I always say, like, the most difficult time for handicapping if you're taking sides is that Sunday. Because, again, as Kevin said, there are people just checked out, like, same way anybody's at work. Oh, it's Friday before I have a week vacation to the Caribbean. Yeah, I'm sure that guy's saying, you know what, let me work overtime tonight and really put in a good effort. That guy's like, man, if my boss lets me go at lunch today, that would be phenomenal. Same way with these players as well. They are already checked out. And then, Kevin, you get like, all right, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you didn't pick up a baseball bat. You didn't run on the treadmill. You are pounding beers and relaxing and gambling and partying. Like, oh, no, I got to play Friday. Those are tricky as well. It's almost like baseball takes a complete week off before you can gauge it back again after the weekend series, after the All-Star break. A lot more hot topics coming up, which includes Paulo Banchero. He got paid. It's a new destination, the Orlando Magic now, the hottest team in the NBA. Come on back and find out. It's Moneyline.
Boys of summer have returned and taken the field for the great American pastime. You should monetize that. Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
With your news flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. This update brought to you by Fidelity. The death toll from catastrophic flooding in Texas over the July 4th weekend surpassed 100 on Monday as search and rescue teams continued the massive search for missing people. Searchers have found the bodies of 84 people, including 28 children, in the county home of Camp Mystic and several other summer camps. The National Hurricane Center is tracking 4 tropical waves, including one in the Caribbean. The next named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season will be Dexter. So far, 2 of the Atlantic season's 3 named storms, Barry and Chantal, have formed earlier than historical averages. Forecasters have been predicting the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season will be above normal. Based on a 30-year climate period from 1991 to 2020, an average Atlantic hurricane season is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. I'm Trey Westerberg with your news flash.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Luck is a word losers use. If you think winning is only a matter of chance, you must be new here. We give you sports gaming strategies and information that changes outcomes others flip a coin over. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Shout out to chat box out here having fun. George comes in and says, yo, boys, Cam Stewart at Dimitrov plus 950, and he withdrew up 2 sets, which, we're going to get to Orlando in a second. Let's talk Wimbledon here. Did you see that yesterday?
No.
This guy was absolutely cleaning up. Dimitros was crushing Jannik Sinner. Down 2 sets, okay. Kevin. And the dude hurt his pec. He's like, I can't compete anymore. So Sinner gets to move on. Imagine that, again, a ticket in your pocket. And how can we equate it to, right, Kevin? It's like, my wide receiver needs 75 yards. He's at 72 at the half. And it's like, oh, by the way, he's being checked for a concussion. You've got to be kidding me. It's 1 catch in the second half. And I just iced this up. A plus 950 ticket. That's doesn't even play good tennis the rest of the way. He wins that match. you retire because you got injured. That's outright. That hurts, man. That would hurt.
I did actually see something on that where apparently this guy is constantly, though, again, retiring at these big events. Like, he just can't make it through. Like, what are we doing, though? Like, what are we doing? Like, how is this guy still in the mix like that? So that's why.
Wonder if he's ever won a tournament. You know what I mean? Has he ever won a regular tournament? Like, he just can't do it in the majors? He just gets too banged up?
I would imagine so. What's Buddy's name?
Dimitrov?
Yeah.
Same as the general manager used to be for what? The Atlanta Falcons? Thomas Dimitrov?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's pull up old Grigor.
Yeah. So, I mean, to lose that is absolutely wild, man.
Where's his?
And Aaron's saying like he's done it like 5 straight majors, just dipping out on the process.
Well, he's never won a Grand Slam.
Yeah, how could you bet that guy? He just keeps getting injured. And what are some of those injuries? Like, could he have? Because I was telling Ben, I was like, but play with one hand. Like, what do you need the other arm for? Like, you're gonna win.
I don't know. So what? So now it's asterisk, Donnie. Sinner wins.
Like, I felt like Sinner should have been like, you know what? If I win this thing, I'm just giving him the paycheck, $2 million. Like, I didn't deserve this at this point as we move on. But that's nice, man. You're getting your butt whipped. Like, imagine like an NFL team. We're down 27-0 at the break, and like, oh, they all tested positive for COVID over there at halftime, so it's over, and you win the game. Like, we don't even know how to equate anything like that. No way.
Yeah. The isn't Swiatek going right now, or no? Sabalenka. Is Sabalenka going right now? I thought she like was losing. When I was logging in. What do you got for me there?
Taylor Fritz, the American one, fantastic. Something that and a guy named Karen lost to Taylor Fritz. Hilarious stuff right there. Sabalenka lost the first set, won the second set, but she's losing right now to Laura Siegemund, 4-3 in the third set. Let me see.
What do we got?
So we got women's matches. Sabalenka is a -140 price.
Whoa, not bad.
Still at this point right now, 4-3. I see the. Or I don't even know how to.
Oh, it just flipped. It's now even money. Just flipped.
Yes, plus 100. Well, let me see, because this is kind of interesting to read this. So we got 6-4, 6-2, and then 1-1. Okay, I see what that is then. Like, I was just trying to read like the live numbers on FanDuel. The 1-1, I didn't know what that meant. And then 4-3 in this set, and then 30-30 low, or whatever the heck the scoring is. All right, I got it.
I'd imagine if Sabalenka wins this set, and this goes 4-4, she's going to be like minus.
Yes,
250 range. No,
yeah, put the boost. You get a 30% profit boost in there, Kevin. You can roll with it. She's plus 175 now. Just jump.
Whoa!
Up. Yeah,
big number.
I guess every point now, which is great. You're watching on TV. You're probably like 3 serves behind. It's like, hey, what happened?
Probably a night.
What happened to me right there? You got to. The only way you can bet this, like being like on point here. But I haven't sunk my teeth really into Wimbledon all that much. But it is interesting watching the flow for this. And when you get people that can be on the shows and talk tennis, to put it in like real men's terms, but 2 Americans still alive here to win Wimbledon. Something you don't see all that much. How about that? How about that?
Something you claimed you needed in order to get you to tune in. Yet I highly doubt you'll be tuning in.
Still haven't tuned in yet. I'm tuning in right now. Got back to a plus 100. Kev, must have been a big service break right there, whatever we call it. Plus 100.
We jumping in or no?
You know what?
We jumping in?
Yeah, let me log in because what's my profit boost total? Let me get in here.
Whoa, dog in the background, Laura Sigmund. I mean, what was the pre-match odds here? Is the real question.
Yeah,
Sabalenka.
Okay. Find my location, please. Come on, come on. It's waiting for a worse number.
Where's this number? Oh my goodness, was she minus 2,800 coming into this?
She's minus 105 now, as my verification is coming through slow right now. Gotta be kidding me, man. Let me just keep hitting this refresh button. Okay, claim now, profit boost. Profit boost available.
What's this number going to be?
30%.
If she gets this to 4-4.
I don't know, but I'm taking $10 on it. I'm in. Plus 125.
Oh, so now we're in?
Yeah, I'm in. I just took it.
All right.
It's checking. All right, it has me in.
Check in.
At what price did I get it?
Now I'm in. Great.
Plus 124. I have it as with the boost.
All right, so this is on you.
All right. Let me line this up.
Let's root it in.
That was my big boost there, Kevin, because I'm only allowed to bet $10. So that's what. I only bet $10. The number one, I have no idea about this sport. And minus 160 should pop up. I'm just watching odds right now. It's more fun to do it this way.
Full
to cheat the
spoiler.
system. You see this, boys? Look, George is in. He's riding with us right now. So we already
we could have had the 175.
But is there a cash out though? Is there a cash out available right now? Yes, there is. I can make a 90-cent profit if I'm out right now, Kevin. Yeah.
I can make $4. Uh-oh.
All right, hold on. Let me get back to this. This could take over the show. All right, so we're at minus 160 to plus 130. I don't care how this match goes. I'm just watching the odds, and when they blink, we'll get the people updated. Like, this feels like a little in-play sports tonight action right now, Kevin. It really does.
It feels like we're back. That's what people are waiting for.
See that? And only the chat box was convinced. Oh, no, she's down to a plus 100.
Oh, this always with the back and forth.
You know what? I have my hand on the button for 90 cents, and I just, you know what? Fuck it. What's it? Yeah, what is it now? Let me see what I can get out. I can get out at 884 with a small loss. So we're not doing that. We're going to ride this bad boy out right now. So plus 100 to minus 125, Sabalenka and Siegemund. Like, was she even ranked?
Siegemund. Wouldn't it be Siegemund?
How do you say it? Yeah,
I would think so.
Laura. We need this to flip up again. So we got 1-1s, 4-3 down, 40-40. So AD means what? What does that mean?
Means
like the advantage? Advantage?
Yes, you got
you win the next point. You got it? Yeah, got it. We're learning, people. Francisco's in right now. Oh, minus 160 popped up again. There we go. There we go, boys. We got action on a Tuesday. It's Moneyline.
Yes.
SportsGrid. Stamping out the boredom in baseball year after year. We bring you all the angles, insights, and information you need. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1889, John L. Sullivan defends the last officially sanctioned bare knuckles World Heavyweight Prizefighting Championship. Jack Kilrain's trainer throws in the towel after 75 one-minute rounds in Mississippi. Bare knuckle boxing started in England, and the first newspaper report of a boxing match dates from 1681. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Scientists at the Max Planck Institute have uncovered a direct link between the smell of food and how full your stomach feels. At least if you're a mouse. A neural circuit between the brain and the olfactory nerve of the septum is triggered by the scent of food, making a mouse feel full without eating. However, overweight mice do not have this mechanism. Not yet understood if this effect translates to humans. However, the smell of spoiled food? A well-known appetite killer. Follow me at Capalbo on X and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
The early line.
Matt LaFleur's been there, done that. He's had a lot of success in the regular season, and if you're looking for an upgrade here, here's what it's going to be. Josh Jacobs, just stay healthy. What an engine last year. What a phenomenal pickup there in the backfield. You take a look at Jordan Love. It's up to him to take that next step. Just got married here. You take a look at Dobbs, Reed, and Golden. Golden, a draft pick here, adding that extra speed.
It's the early line with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. Have you noticed how hard it is these days to find something to believe? Nonsense is everywhere. But at SportsGrid, we put our mouth where your money is. Because if we're ever wrong, you wouldn't win. Get it? This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
CLV. Minus 550, people. Minus 550 Sabalenka right now. Now, let me just check.
Hand over the button.
Yeah, because Kev's got so much more action than me in this because I don't get any boost whatsoever here. So I'm going to go to my bets. I could make a $5 profit, which is a fantastic profit. Off of $10, you win $5.
Considering what was risked.
Yeah, exactly. At the plus numbers here. But I want to, we're minus 750 now, Kevin. Wow. She's up 40 love.
Oh, so this is what I was just, there was odds for her to get an ace, like 4-1.
Yeah.
That's why I was just interested in it. and she's now expected to get an ace, which if she does, she's going to go to just a ridiculous.
They're locking the lines,
here.
Kevin. They're locking the lines right now, Kevin. What does that mean? Does that mean have a volley? You have a VAR? Like, we got to check the line real quick? You got to lock it up?
It could be. Man, so if she gets an ace here, Donnie, what do you think? Minus 1,800?
Minus
that's not good.
Right now.
That's going the wrong way.
There was 40 to 15. All right, so that's minus 15.
No,
again.
so we need
minus
this
550. Point. Yeah, we need this
so
point
that's
to go
bad for the ace.
Yeah.
That's bad for the ace.
Now, who's serving? Do we know? Is it Sabalenka serving? I don't want to turn it on.
I haven't turned it on either.
Cruise on this then. Come on, we should cruise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want to see them lock it up and put that bad boy up minus 2,000. Where it's like
that's
then you're riding out like an extra $1. You know what I mean?
Well, right, yeah. No, I think it's going to be a crazy number.
She's one. But why is it only minus 600 then? Because the other person's serving. Well, why would it be that high? Like, she won, and it's like, all right, well, the other person still gets to serve now. That's interesting.
She was higher, I feel like, during that whole exchange.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little confused
plus
why that number isn't a little bit more.
See. You see the odds now. We're still getting a $5 return on $10 here right now. Tremendous action, but I feel like I don't want to give up because we do have the better tennis player. But now I guess she has to. If she breaks serve, she wins this. Yeah,
yeah. Which I mean, but they go back and forth, right? So it'll be 5-5, so it'd be 7-5. It could be 8-6, right? Like,
well, no. If Sabalenka, I think, wins this,
you have to win by 2, though,
over,
right?
Yes, so she'd be 6-4.
Yeah. No, right. So I'm saying if she doesn't get this one, then we're in like
then it's
then
it goes
2 hours.
Exactly. The show will be done by that point here, and hopefully we're cashing tickets. But like you never anticipate this. And by the way, Kevin, I think we have a WNBA game starting soon as well.
We do in like 4 minutes. There.
Now, do we have we have any action on that though? Like, do we have a? Like,
I'll tell you something.
Go.
Angel Reese is really messing me up because I had a best bet like 2 weekends ago, Donnie, on her rebounds plus assists.
Yeah.
Donnie, I bet her rebounds plus assists over, I think, 15.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the game where she had 2 rebounds and 2 assists. And since that, she's had 19-4, 17-6, 18-2, 16-7, 17-6. So I can't even like look at the. What do you think her rebound assist number is for this game? Like 18.5, 19.5?
Yes. Yeah.
17.5. Wow.
Because the one thing that you do know about that too is that once she's on this streak, you know she cares about that streak, and that's all she's going to try to do, which is great. It's fantastic when you have players that are tuned into. It's very important that I get these type of situations here. But that game's 11:30. By the way, by the minus 1,200, Kevin. She must have won the first
she did.
point there. So now we're cruising on this one. So just stay up there. Let's do it. But anyway, WNBA, Kevin, Camp Week. Is it Camp Day? But it looks like Camp Week, I want to say. All day
maybe.
Moving forward on every day. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
We'll just play the over for a little bit. 159 we're getting.
No, I was hoping for like a sprint play, though. They don't have like, the 3x2s or anything.
Is the first quarter play sprint enough? Let's see. Quick bets. Hold on.
I want a fun
first
quick
bet.
I don't even want
first. They do have a
quarter.
Wow, Donnie, they have a 3x2 at plus 275.
You just fade it? Like, what do you do?
Minus 395? No, I don't think you fade it. Donnie, you want to have some fun? Total points scored in the first minute. 0-2 plus 114.
Wow.
Like, can they just slow play it enough? You're getting plus money.
Like, if you get 2 points, you win, though?
If you get 0, 1, or 2, you win. Anything more, you lose.
Ugh.
No threes. Slow down style.
Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get glimpse on this thing here. So where is that under on FanDuel?
You could do quick bets. You could do race to 10 if you really want.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Of course. Quick
some
bets.
First quarter point props. Team to score first. I'm thinking 0 to 2 points
because we're flush with cash right now with Evelyn. We might have to dip in here, boys. It's Moneyline. It's the way it's supposed to be. We'll be right back. Hopefully, more bets.
We are flushed with cash.
If you ever hear a Taylor Swift song here, something has gone horribly wrong. We only give you sports gaming strategies and information you need. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The Indiana Pacers have confirmed that Tyrese Halliburton will miss the entire 2025-2026 season after surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. He was hurt in Game 7 of the NBA Finals last month with Oklahoma City, going on to win the game and their first title in franchise history. Without Halliburton, the Pacers were outscored 56-43 in the second half as Oak City finished off a 103-91 victory. Halliburton's a two-time All-Star. He scored 9 points with 3 three-pointers before leaving that game. Paulo Banchero and the Orlando Magic have agreed to a 5-year, $239 million maximum rookie contract extension. The deal also has a player option for the 2030-31 season, the first time a rookie max extension has had a player option since 2021. He was the 22-23 NBA Rookie of the Year and earned his first All-Star selection in 2024. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MAP to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MAP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MAP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Let's keep it real. Baseball can be boring. That's where SportsGrid comes in. Nothing livens up those 9 innings like sports gaming. You might experience something you've never felt in a baseball game, a quickened pulse. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
All right, we're right back here, people. And I don't know if we won yet or not because we don't want to turn the television on.
I think she did.
Oh, it says finished. It says finished. Sabalenka. That's got to be done then. We did it.
Oh, yeah.
Says finished.
All right.
There we go. Sabalenka comes in the door, cash it in, plus 124, buying in at the right moment. But Kevin, we turned over these ducats to another spot here. WNBA 11:35 tip-off here. I'm going to explain to people. And I really didn't bet a lot of money. I bet so heavy on favored plays that I can't even use the odds boost here. And here's what I went on, the profit boost. I went no for both teams to score in the first minute, and I went no on 2 or more 3-point shots in the first 3 minutes. They're expensive as all get out, but I just wanted to take it because I feel like I got to be involved in this, Kevin. So what did you do in this game? WNBA.
I just went with my first instincts, which
now,
is
do you have it on
0
TV?
to 2
Are you watching
points.
this?
No, I can't. I don't think you can get it anywhere unless you have like WNBA League Pass, Donnie. Like I need a stream.
I mean, there's Mitch talking on my TV right now. Can you hear him in the background?
Who's Mitch?
Craig Mitch.
Oh, Mitch.
Yeah, who is that? You never see that guy right here. All right, so it looks like we're live and we're underway. Let's see here.
You want something to make you laugh?
Yeah, go ahead.
The other
WNBA.
day.
What do you got?
When they're during that win streak, my brother called them the Fighting Craig Mishes, and I just can't get it out of my head.
Yep.
So the Marlins are red hot.
Yeah, I don't think we have it on TV here, Kevin, this game, which makes it even better because I can watch it here. So, again, I need each team not to score in the first minute, and I need one or less 3-point shots to go down in the first 3 minutes. That's where I'm at on this one. That's where I'm at.
You need the WNBA app. Is this like the free game of the day, maybe?
Yeah, but I like it better that I can't watch it. I do.
No, I know you do, but I'm
good. We're locked. Listen, we're locked, so it must be just about to tip off.
I need an idea, Donnie, on like what type of life did I have for my bet? Like, because I need to know, are we missing? Or are we playing? Yeah,
like shot. So we're on the nose.
Exactly.
So we don't want anybody to score, basically. Then so
correct.
Yeah. see when this bad boy pops up. Do you love this? Like, this is your radio that you want to hear out there in these streets, huh? Sweating out bets midday. And by the way, Wednesdays, Kevin isn't here. So the reason I say that is, let me just flip this over. I'm going to go to tomorrow's WNBA slate. 11 a.m. We got another shot at this thing. And then 12, though. But I'll be off the air by 12. But Storm Sun, be involved in that tomorrow. I like this. Maybe even more tennis at this point during the day. You never know.
Oh, was it first minute or first 2 minutes, my bet?
For what?
I mean,
it can't be first 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
I don't know. This thing's saying 9:02. Like, did it already take place? I'm not understanding.
I just see live right now on my.
My goodness.
Oh, wait. I see 9:02 as well. Hold on. There's a timeout with 9:02 and nobody has scored, Kevin. Now, what's the timeout? Is that a foul?
A foul and a review?
No,
Are we
it can't be a
challenging
timeout,
the first
though.
foul
Oh,
of the
no,
game?
that'd be a terrible way to lose. And by the way, did I bet no on both teams to score in the first minute, right? Impossible now for that to happen, right? So at least I got
and I think my bet is good as well, Donnie.
I'm seeing the stats. Like 2 rebounds,
0
one,
to
like
2
nobody's got an
points in the
assist.
first minute.
One block, so I don't see any fouls.
Let's read
the
it.
Timeout.
Donnie, the first shot went up at 9:34.
Wow.
Which is like 26 seconds in. I don't know how they managed that. All right. We had a missed layup, right?
No turnovers.
Then we had another missed layup at 9:18.
Oh, beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we had a Reese O-bound.
Yep.
And then a layup.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4 seconds later, we had a shooting foul. And then the Mystics called timeout, which I wouldn't know why they would do that.
There's a shooting foul. So that's okay for me, though. Oh, but wait.
That's fine for me. I'm between 0 and 2. So assuming that they didn't get fouled on a 3.
Yeah, but if they make 2, you lose, though, no?
No,
2 or less.
I just can't. Yes.
Oh,
I'm under 2.5.
There you go. All right.
I'm under 2.5.
Oh, gotcha. We might have a clean sweep right now between tennis and these two. How about this? X-Man. X-Man's in the chat box
Looks
right
like
now.
someone got hit.
WNBA X-Man. Come on now.
Let's go, X-Man.
Well,
X-Man's big into the W.
Yeah. We're cashing tickets left and right now. This is nice.
Let's
and they're taking a 3. I'd love to see that. So I got to make it to the 7-minute mark with 1 3 or less. That's what I need.
Now, see, the question becomes, right? Was someone fouled on a 3? I imagine no, right? Because you imagine, Donnie, they fouled a 3-point shooter with 2 seconds left.
What are we taking a timeout for with 0-0?
I think someone got hurt. I think someone, Kiki Irafan, who actually made the All-Star game, rookie for the Mystics, Donnie.
Yeah.
She's hurt. I'm checking Twitter. We had an injury. How do we get a shooting foul?
We're delaying this. Stop delaying it. Let's get the game rolling, man. Come on. No more timeouts at this point.
Why are they playing
I assume she got hurt while she got fouled, or she got hurt fouling somebody?
I think she may have got hurt away from the play.
All right, they're at the line. 0 for 1 free throws, Kevin. There you go.
No, even better.
Yeah,
even better.
Shakira Alston.
Even better. So Kiki Irafan just got hurt, which is not good for
Splash,
the Mystics.
made it down. Boom, 1. There you go.
All right, that's
unless
fine.
they don't heave a 3 with 2 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's the first
Steal
thing
the
we were doing?
inbound?
A missed dunk? Was it a missed dunk that I lost money on?
That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was a team total breakaway dunk. Kid cocked back and didn't get it in, and I couldn't believe my eyes. We just clean sweep this game, DRS.
All right, so we got that. It's just no 3s to go down here. Shooting foul now on Shakira Alston. Love to see that. That means nobody's shooting a 3. Love it.
We're all over this. This is fantastic.
This is good. Can we do this as a new show where we just bet everything live while we're on the air?
If they just keep giving us live action, we will.
Well, again, 11 a.m., like we don't have so few choices usually. You know what I mean? 11 to 12. You get that afternoon slot, you can get down on some of that Major League Baseball action, just have some fun. I got to feel like it seems like this could be the most profitable hour in sports right now for us. Killing women's sports, too. We're shaming our game.
Growing the game. We're growing the game.
Growing the game.
Wow, they already paid out, too. This is fantastic.
This could be great. All right, Washington possession. I got to go a minute and a half without 2 3-point shots here. This is beautiful. By the way, I don't want to slander the way it is, but in the NBA, it's missed. I think that was close to a 3-point, 2-point. It was a 2-point shot, Kevin, right on the line. Even better at that point. Defensive rebound shot. Fantastic. That's even better. Another missed shot I'm showing here. So this is perfect. But yeah, like we're just like NBA, like, yes, like they can knock down 3-point shots with the quickness, right? Feels like in the WNBA, like, it's got to be a little bit there. Scored. Was that a 3? No, 2 ball. Why's every shot coming from like right inside the
outer
three line?
space?
Yeah, that's not correct. Like now this is getting on my nerves. Every shot looks like it might be a 3, and it's not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't even look like that on my screen. You're getting the
FanDuel?
Are you getting the FanDuel? No, I got the ESPN. FanDuel's beating you up.
Look, everybody is shooting from the 3-point line right now.
Donnie, these shots are all in the paint, Donnie. They're all layups.
What is this? Like I'm having a heart attack. Like every shot's coming up 3-point range. All they're doing is shooting triples at me, man. Stop it. All right, turnover. So now we're getting close. 7:27 I got on the clock right now.
How much time do you have?
Scored.
3 minutes?
Yes, 3 minutes.
All right,
I need
all right.
No, 2 3-point shots in the final 25 seconds will do me in. But the fact that this thing is clicking up, Kevin, at every single time is a 3-point shot is getting on my nerves.
But Donnie, how do you feel about the fact that the score's 3-3 and you seem to be home free?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Isn't that wild? That's a wild case here.
Like,
all right, so got 708 rebounds. Where's the TikTok? Come on, where's the TikTok, baby? Where are we at now?
I think you might be all right here. I think you might be all right here.
Which, again, let me watch Washington's possession here and show another 3-point shot.
Stuff.
Yeah, FanDuel, fix that, man. My gosh.
Donnie, you have
Holy
to. Can you
moly.
see? Can you see this by chance on the screen? I don't know if you can see how close the. No, it's too light. You have to see how close these shots are to the basket that they had you thinking were threes.
Oh, my goodness, man. Tremendous winners all the way around on Moneyline.
This is sports gaming information you can use. Expert analysis on odds, insights, and strategies you can literally take to the bank. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The Washington Nationals have selected bench coach Miguel Cairo as their interim manager. He replaces Dave Martinez, who was fired Sunday, along with general manager Mike Rizzo. After 13 NHL seasons and a pair of Stanley Cup victories with the Tampa Bay Lightning, Tyler Johnson has announced his retirement. He put up 498 points in 863 regular season and playoff games. Johnson was a champion at just about every level, capturing the Western Hockey League and Memorial Cup championships in 2008 and the American Hockey League's Calder Cup championship with Norfolk in 2012. The Kansas Legislative Committee has extended a deadline for the Chiefs and Royals to take advantage of a stadium financing plan from the state. The new deadline is June the 30th of 2026, but the committee indicated it's seeking an answer from the teams by December 31st of this year. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, see Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Springtime. When a young man's fancy turns to get your mind out of the gutter. For sports gaming strategies and information that gives you an unfair advantage, you'll find it all right here.
It's the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Digging in, people. Cash flow. How about that? Kevin and I dip in from Wimbledon, Sabalenka, plus 124. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Then we said, you know what? The WNBA is coming up 11:35. I double up there. Cha-ching. Didn't really make any money because the prices were ridiculous, but still 2-0. Kevin dips in with under 2 points or 2 points or less, which is basically under 2.5. Hits with only 1 point in the first minute. The game right now is 7-7 after 5 minutes. That lets you know here. Look at that, man. Tremendous. Did it.
That was wild.
Cash.
That was not really what we were anticipating, but it worked out, and it was quite the treat. So we've got
Fantastic.
that going on.
By the way, let me ask you a question. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Because I was going to bring up the Summer League getting on my nerves already. You know why?
That works for me.
My nerves already. Why is it? Do you know? You want to know?
Edgecombe out.
Yeah. Like yesterday, like there wasn't much going on. Like the Phillies were on late. I'm just bopping around watching some baseball, doing some things, and I stumbled on it. I'm like, you know what? Let me just have on. I don't know. Was it? What channel was it on last night? By the way,
NBA TV.
I turned the low. NBA, whatever was on, I had the channel on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, awesome. Yeah, Sixers and Thunder coming on right now. Good. I'm gonna look at Edgecombe. There's no news all day long. Open up the telecast. Late word just came in. VJ Edgecombe thumb. Like, of course, there's no thumb injury. This is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Have one game as a rookie, never see him again, and you'll see him one game in Vegas. Like, I was like, you know what, man? Let me get after this first game. Let me see him settle down a little bit. Played very well. Was very aggressive. I want to see game number 2. Like, his thumb hurts. Stop. Enough.
That's why I said I think, Donnie, because for me, I tend to agree with you that I think it's possible he might play in Vegas. Like, realistically, he should not be playing in Vegas. If he just had an injury that's going to hold him out from that game, there's no reason to keep on playing him. At least it doesn't feel like it. I don't know why we're doing Summer League in multiple locations. You know what I mean? I don't know why we're doing a minor league of Summer League, which is what it feels like in Utah. It's just a little odd. It's a little bizarre. I'll just say, too, it is a reminder in terms of betting Summer League, be very, I would say that try not to chase in that, VJ played really well game number 1, right? And it's like, you know what, man, he's going to go for 20 again. It's like, one, I don't even know if this guy's going to show up, okay? And in that case, he didn't play in the game. Yeah. You also don't know what the minutes are going to be. Like, and you're not allowed to bet unders. They just don't offer them. And it's one of those instances where, beggars can't be choosers, right? Because the alternative is we just don't get Summer League props. So it's what it's going to be. And we're not getting fair numbers, and we know that, and that's what it is. But it's like Ace Bailey, right, just went off last night, relatively speaking, at least, It's like, I'm betting Ace for 2, 3. I think he finished with like 18 or 19. I mean, Bryce Sensabaugh scored 30.
Yeah.
But this kid, he's in his third year. He's played 100 NBA. It's like,
how about
like
Judah
Bryce
Mintz?
Sensabaugh.
You know anything about Judah Mintz?
Isn't the Syracuse kid?
Yep. Ben's boy last night.
That?
I think he led the Sixers last night. How about that? Undrafted in 2024.
Wow, got excited. So, yeah, listen, the Summer League is tricky, Donnie. We know that, right? Like the Cooper stuff, game number 1. It's going to be, 20-plus, minus money? Like, that's what we're expecting. And is it going to really be worth it?
Thursday night preview, Dallas is saying, get out there and watch us. And by the way, even if those guys like, hey, VJ Edgecombe is down, like, it doesn't even matter in the spread, to be honest. Does it, though? Like, you still got 20 other guys out there just trying to take shots anyway. Like, if Cooper Flagg doesn't play, it's like, I can't take the Dallas team now. I don't think so.
No, I think it matters. If you're expecting Cooper Flagg to play 25 minutes and he's the best player on the court, Donnie.
Nah, he might give you Wembanyama, though, first game out. You never know. You might want to fade the Superstars game.
No, I don't mind you fading it. Mm-hmm. But you have to move the number on whether he's out there or not. I at least for Cooper Flagg, like, I'm not sure I'm moving the number, depending on if Noah Senge's playing for the Bulls Summer League team. But
How about if Topic is in there?
Yeah, I mean, NBA Finals champion who's going to go try and win Rookie of the Year.
By the way, do you have Saturday basketball shows the rest of the way? You took this weekend off? What happened?
Yeah, we were off this weekend with 4th of July, but we have a 1-hour show on Saturday. We'll focus a good amount, I think, on the WNBA because they're playing games. But we'll get into all the other things within the NBA as well. So yeah, it should be a good time, Donnie. You want a guest spot?
Now, studio mandatory should be at least 2 of that. You got 1 hour Saturday, and you got 1.5, like 2 days a week in GTD. How'd you swing this? Explain yourself on the air.
I don't really know what you're referring to. I'm not. That's why I'm doing Donnie's 7-hour podcast episode.
I mean, people are paying attention around the network. Let's just say that right now at this point. But there is baseball today. Did you look at the baseball card today?
I've
glimpse?
the most interesting thing to me on the baseball slate is now, will the Dodgers lose a fifth game in a row? I was on Milwaukee yesterday.
They're going to lose today. Yeah, they're going to lose today.
Pitching advantage?
Mizrachi got bombed in his last start against the Mets. But left-handers are torching him. Now, granted, Shohei Ohtani is a big lefty in that lineup, but the lefties in the lineup don't really hit right-handed pitching all that well today for the Dodgers. And also Clayton Kershaw. It's one of those, you ever hear and sometimes it's a theory, but even with younger pitchers, 27 years old, Kevin, 111 pitches, threw a no-hitter. You fade him the next start because he's gassed. Like, he gave everything he had. Kershaw threw 100 pitches in his last game to get that third strikeout. I just think it's one of those where you had a big momentous occasion game. Again, look, Kershaw's not going to be like, hey, man, it's too big for the moment. Like, no, like, the guy's been around the block. But it just feels like I go from L.A., I get it on that mound. It was a big, exciting night. Pictures with the family, 3,000 Ks. Left me in there to get it there. It took me 100 pitches where he's not that type of pitcher anymore. I think there's a chance he gets hit around. Now, granted, they're a favorite. I like the slight dog price today in Milwaukee just from that side of it. But it is crazy to think about. If you had like a bet, Kevin, before the season, hey, minus 200, like there won't be more than a 5-game losing streak for the Dodgers. Like, they ain't losing 5 in a row. They might lose 2 in a row, 3 in a row. They'll never get to 5. Can you imagine that? Like, no, they could lose 5 in a row.
I was saying, it's so funny you said that. I said last night, if you would have said over-under longest losing streak of the season for the Dodgers, the number's probably 3.5, maybe 4.5, maybe, right? And that's now what we're staring down. They've had one 4-game losing streak
every night. It's like, how do they even lose 4 in a row when they're minus 260 every night? Look at them now. Slight favorites on the road. We'll be right back to Moneyline on a Tuesday.
Care what your high school girlfriend told you. You are a winner. Or at least you will be if you keep it here. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
For anyone who's worried about back taxes, has not filed tax returns, and doesn't know what to do next, stop and listen. Not filing your taxes can have severe consequences, especially in this political climate. Now that COVID is over, the IRS is getting aggressive, massively increasing enforcement and collection efforts. With politicians making all sorts of promises, especially when it comes to taxes, hiding and not dealing with your taxes will cause you harsh legal and financial ramifications. But right now, the IRS offers forgiveness and writes off a massive amount of tax debt. The Tax Doctor offers a free service that helps people get out of IRS collections and back in good standing with the government. Don't hide or bury your head in the sand. Take advantage of our free service. Call now to learn more. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. That's 800-816-4492.
Moneyline.
I think Pete Crow Armstrong's candidacy is very legit. But let me just ask you this question. When was the last time you heard someone's defense, especially in the outfield, talked about as much as PCA's is? For me, it feels like young Mike Trout. I'm not comparing the level of hitting, but I'm talking about the way we talk about PCA's defense being a game changer. This guy glides to the baseball, Don.
Catch Moneyline with Donnie Rightside and Kevin Walsh. Weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to SportsGrid, doing our part to spread the winning edge nationwide. Terrestrial, internet, TV, satellite, and our mobile app. Face it, you're one of us. One of us. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Interesting card overall. Last 60-day pitchers here. Fadeable. How about like Shota Imanaga? Doesn't have a lot of innings, but a 129 xFIP minus. Worst pitcher on the card for me today, it's Aaron Savali of the Chicago White Sox, and that's a bad pitcher to be if you're going up against those Toronto bats today. They should rake again. I had a couple wagers yesterday, but the one I liked the most, Kevin, was an alt team total. 2 of the teams absolutely just smashed the team total, and I got left at the altar, per se, on the Tampa Bay Rays only scoring 1 run against Kiter Montero. Needed 3 runs. Didn't get that. But the radar was on yesterday, too. I'm going to try to find some things that make some sense. But I think the worst pitcher on the card from a pitching perspective up against a hitting lineup, it's Toronto, who's just hammering the baseball right now, playing as good as you can get. They should be able to crush Savali tonight.
Yeah, look, they've been red hot. I think they are a little bit into the losses coming territory, right? I think that's, streaks at some point kind of have the rug pulled out from underneath them. However, they're playing a bad baseball team in the White Sox. And I don't know if this is the spot to fade them, especially based on some of the numbers that you're suggesting and throwing out there. So I think, you got to try and keep that watchful eye. What do you make, by the way, down to the Boston lineup? It feels like they've been, pretty hot recently. Like Trevor Story, I feel like we're hearing a lot about now. He's, last month he's hitting almost 350. Romy Gonzalez last night had the triple in the home run.
Lines. Exactly. They right off the bat, they were piping. I'm like, I should have just taken these all straight because I would have won money on those team totals as opposed to losing money with an alt there. But going up against Kyle Freeland tonight, let's just take a look here. Last 30 days, another good lineup tonight. Like Eaton's got good numbers. Romy Gonzalez got good numbers. Roman Anthony stinks. He has terrible numbers. Ref Snyder, good numbers. Story, good numbers. Narvaez, good numbers. Rafaela, good numbers, which is interesting. So it's a younger lineup, but starting to present itself. And again, you play in Fenway. Like last night, Kevin, 80-plus degrees, double-digit winds blowing out in Fenway. It's like a team is going to hammer against a not-so-good pitcher. You really get the same thing today. Now, Freeland's numbers, let me see where they're popping in for the full 60 days. He's 22nd, so he's down there quite a bit. 5 ERA, 4.55 xFIP number. They should hit again tonight. They absolutely should. Yeah.
What? I had last night. I went the other way, Donnie, just trying to do like a big shot play where it was them over 7.5, but then it was the Reds over 6.5. Yeah. Cincinnati just gave me nothing yesterday. I was a little surprised.
You went against my guy Junk last night, man. Junk was one of my favorite dog plays yesterday. Guy was
all right.
Yesterday.
So you were on it.
Dealing in Cincy yesterday.
All right.
Pittsburgh scored 3 runs. They got hammered last night. Cleveland woke up last night. Was surprising against Houston, their lineup. But the one thing, Kevin, I look at tonight, like you got to be unbiased. You always have to. Like the Phillies going out west to play the Giants. And say, all right, our pitcher's going to be absolutely filthy, but we're never going to score. That's what happened. Now, the umpire did make some bad calls, so be it, they lost. I look at the game tonight, and unless you are a contrarian, it's like, hey, man, the Phillies getting like plus 135 against the Giants since Robbie Ray. Like, Robbie Ray is the left-handed strikeout guy. He's not having dominant statistics this year by any stretch, but these type of pitchers just absolutely smash the Phillies. And I look at tonight, like Taijuan Walker's on the mound, heavy price on San Francisco, but I don't know, like 8.5, I think this is the latest number I saw in the totals. 8, like there's no way they get 9 runs tonight unless San Francisco scores 8 of them, if you get my drift. Like the Phillies, I just don't think are scoring today in San Francisco. I don't know. Like the Phillies could win like a 3-2 game, but what atmosphere, unless you're, again, just a contrarian, they'll tap Ray, which is exactly the pitcher they can't touch.
Yeah, it's funny though, because when the Phillies go through these struggles, it does feel a little pronounced. Like them being 53-38 occasionally feels like it slips under the radar. Like they are in first place within that National League East. And I understand we're talking situational spots there, but that record is much shinier occasionally than it feels like. I'll also just say I'm pretty fascinated by the Yankees game as usual from the Judge perspective. Yeah. I am trying to think back to the last time the Yankees went up against an ace level pitcher. Crochet comes to mind, but Logan Gilbert goes tonight, and I'm just very interested to see what Aaron Judge may have for him and vice versa.
Here's the interesting part, though, Kevin. What if I told you Logan Gilbert, even with his statistics, he's a 5 ERA, he's the best analytical pitcher on the card tonight? Isn't that crazy? Logan Gilbert's number 1 on the card tonight for analytics, going up against the Yankees. Super
That's
low
what I'm saying.
High K rate guy. XFIP minus extremely low. And you supposed to wait a second. He's got a 5 ERA over the last 60 days. He stinks. He's the best analytical pitcher on the card tonight. It is such an interesting one because you'd usually look and say, that 9 total. Warren and Gilbert. Buyer beware tonight up there in Yankee Stadium. Hot, soupy weather. I get it. It is what it is. Fun time today. Francisco Carrasco says, 1 more hour, please. George says, his Centrone, 7.5 points and rebounds in the first 7 minutes. Got to get to 18.5 and a good start there.
Not bad.
JP behind the wheels of steel, Donnie right side of Ken Walsh. See you tomorrow.
actionable insights, analysis, odds, and expert perspective on sports gaming. If we do say so ourselves, this is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Halliburton's a two-time All-Star. He scored 9 points with 3 three-pointers before leaving that game. Paulo Banchero and the Orlando Magic have agreed to a 5-year, $239 million maximum rookie contract extension. The deal also has a player option for the 2030-31 season, the first time a rookie max extension has had a player option since 2021. He was the 22-23 NBA Rookie of the Year and earned his first All-Star selection in 2024. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MAP to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MAP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MAP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you want to be an alpha, you've got to get the winning edge. It's kind of a necessary ingredient if you want to lead the pack. So mark your territory with the winning edge. You're in the big leagues. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to Football Full Circle with Scott Wetzel and Ben Stevens.
It is a football month here in July, and as we welcome you to this Tuesday live right here on Football Full Circle, that is FFC, all a part of the SportsGrid Radio Network and Sirius XM Channel 159. He is Scott Wetzel. I am Ben Stevens. We are always delighted to be talking football. And in this football month of July, Scott, we've got rookies showing up to training camp on Saturday. We've got our first vets reporting to training camp a week from tomorrow. And we've got Big 12 Media Days taking place as we speak in Arlington to kick off the Media Day circuit around college football to get ready for the 2025 campaign as well. We'll detail all of that today, Scott, and not just getting ready for football, but a football documentary series on Netflix, season 2 of the titled Quarterback series that will follow around Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff from a season ago. A behind-the-scenes look at those quarterback lives a season ago. And of course, Scott, Kirk Cousins will be front and center with how dramatic his season was in 2024.
Yeah, I'm amazed. HBO is finding it more and more difficult to find teams, for the hard knocks. But I will say, I got to hand it to Netflix, right? They're not fooling around with the guys that they get for their series for whatever reason. I don't know how much they're paying those guys, but it's got to be quite a bit, right? So Kirk Cousins, dropping the bombshell that he was surprised. Really, the whole world was surprised the Atlanta Falcons took Michael Penix. And I don't know, Ben, if you saw the story on the Cleveland Browns. We'll get a chance. We'll get into that again. The Browns being the Browns as they're ripping Shedeur Sanders' father, Dion, obviously. Why in the world would you do that? Why would you do that when you got Shedeur on your team? So we can break that down as well over the next hour.
Yeah, we certainly will, Scott, as we go through everything and all of those headlines on Football Full Circle. It is that time of the summer, the later portion of the offseason, right before training camp is about to begin in the NFL, and fall camp is set to begin after the Media Days circuit around college football. That headlines are what we discussed. Let's start with that headline, as you kind of joked about, for Kirk Cousins, who said in the very debut episode of season 2 of Quarterback that he felt, quote, misled by the Falcons, drafting Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall in April of 2024, saying in that episode, Scott, quote, certainly if I had had the information around free agency, it certainly would have affected my decision. I had no reason to leave Minnesota with how much we loved it there if both teams are going to be drafting a quarterback high. But I've learned in 12 years in this league that you're not entitled to anything. It's all about being able to earn your spot, improve yourself, and, quote, I think like most of us, Kirk Cousins was surprised that the Falcons with the 8th overall pick, after paying Kirk $180 million over a 4-year deal with $100 million guaranteed 2 off seasons ago, entering that 2024 NFL draft, but the Falcons ended up selecting Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall. Him being misled is not necessarily the interesting part, and as Kirk even reflects on, Scott, in that episode on quarterback, you got to earn your spot. And Kirk Cousins, recovering from the ruptured Achilles the year prior, did not play all that well in 2024 in his lone year as the starter, it seems, in Atlanta.
Yeah, a little revisionist history, too, for Kirk Cousins. We need to remind him that Minnesota showed no interest in re-signing him. He blew out his Achilles. They had Cousins on the roster for a number of years. They haven't won big time with him. They really showed no interest. Now, if he would have went to Minnesota and said, I'll give you a hometown discount and whacked his price in half, maybe the Vikings would have said okay. But otherwise, Minnesota basically said, sorry, we're not interested anymore. So he may think they were, but in reality, they weren't. So that's, a little jolt of reality for Kirk Cousins. But, I mean, the weirdest thing about that Atlanta Falcon thing is that they drafted Penix number 8. Excuse me. There wasn't a mock draft out there that had Penix going before that. So they knew, and it was only a couple of weeks before that they signed Kirk Cousins. So did the epiphany light in the Falcons' brain over those last 2 weeks before the draft and said, oh, my God, Michael Penix Jr. really is good? But otherwise, they knew he was going to be there at 8. So if that's the case, and if you liked him, why would you sign Kirk Cousins? I mean, it just didn't make any sense, Ben. And we really haven't gotten a full explanation outside. Well, they just like Kirk, they just like the Michael Penix. But ideally, he wasn't going to play for 4 or 5 years if Cousins worked out. Made no sense.
That's the thing, Scott. And it still makes no sense because guess what? The Falcons are still paying Kirk Cousins a ton of money, $100 million guaranteed as a part of that 4-year deal that to get Kirk Cousins off the books would cost them a ton of money. Even trading Kirk now past June 1st as we are in early July, Scott, if there was a team that wanted Kirk Cousins ahead of the 2025 NFL campaign, the Falcons would still be on the hook for $37.5 million in terms of dead cap money because of Cousins' contract, which makes this situation incredibly difficult to navigate. And the idea that Kirk Cousins is now the most expensive backup quarterback we have ever known in NFL history. I think some of the reasoning, at least the explanation the Falcons gave us way back in April ago in 2024, well, they weren't sure the next time they would be drafting in the top 10 to go after a quarterback of the future, understanding that Kirk is now, I think, 37 years old and a veteran in the NFL, which I guess is fine. But the reason you pay Kirk Cousins is so that you are not drafting in the top 10, heck, not even in the top 25. You are hoping to win divisional championships, earn playoff spots, and maybe even contend for a Lombardi trophy, which is why, Scott, it has never made sense to me. It does not make sense still, and clearly for the Falcons, who were unable to dispatch Kirk Cousins this offseason, at least until this juncture, it does not make sense for Atlanta's financial books at this moment either.
Yeah, and listen, if you're a Super Bowl caliber team, then okay, maybe you have the luxury of drafting a quarterback in the top 10 because you think, all right, we're never going to be here again. I get that philosophy, but they're not. They have plenty of holes on that team that they could have used that 8th overall pick. And when you draft Kirk Cousins, again, it goes back to your, why do you give the guy $100 million guaranteed, which is basically, in today's day and age, 2.5 years guaranteed? Because don't forget, to pick up Michael Penix's 5th year, you got to decide that after the 3rd year. So theoretically, Michael Penix shouldn't have played year number 1, 2, and 3 if Cousins works out. So now you got to make a decision after year 3 about having Penix on your. You don't have him on a 10-year contract. It's not like, okay, we got this guy and he's ours for the next 10 years. you only have a certain amount of years, and those years still coincided with Kirk Cousins. I mean, it was just dopey. I don't know. You know, if 50-50 bet, is he going to be on the roster this season for Atlanta? You know, he could talk his way off, right? I mean, if he becomes a problem, they would have to decide, you know, it's just not worth it. We'll cut bait and we'll eat the $37 million. You know, we got to do it sooner or later anyway. I got a feeling he won't be on this team, Ben, when push comes to shove in September.
It'll be interesting, too, Scott. You could certainly see during the 2025 season, if a contending team loses a quarterback, needs a better play at that quarterback spot, is it worth it for what they would have to invest financially into Kirk, but knowing that most of it still relies on the Atlanta Falcons? So far, everybody in Atlanta, head coach Raheem Morris, OC Zach Robinson, now second-year pro Michael Penix Jr., and Kirk Cousins, to his benefit, are saying all of the right things as we give them credit for doing so. But saying all of the right things and the actions once the actual football games begin, very different story. Penix Jr., I think, gave some glimpses of solid play during the final few starts of his rookie campaign. But Scott, if he struggles to start 2025 and the Falcons have expectations at least at trying to challenge the Buccaneers from a fifth consecutive NFC South divisional crown, do those echoes of, hey, the large elephant in the quarterback room that Kirk Cousins is still there start to grow? We'll talk a little bit more about the Falcons' outlook entering the 2025 NFL season up next here on Football Full Circle.
4 out of 5 scientists agree it's smarter to be on SportsGrid, and we're pretty sure that one scientist is still a virgin. He just gives that vibe. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
With your news flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. This update brought to you by Fidelity. The death toll from catastrophic flooding in Texas over the July 4th weekend surpassed 100 on Monday as search and rescue teams continued the massive search for missing people. Searchers have found the bodies of 84 people, including 28 children, in the county home of Camp Mystic and several other summer camps. The National Hurricane Center is tracking 4 tropical waves, including one in the Caribbean. The next named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season will be Dexter. So far, 2 of the Atlantic season's 3 named storms, Barry and Chantal, have formed earlier than historical averages. Forecasters have been predicting the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season will be above normal. Based on a 30-year climate period from 1991 to 2020, an average Atlantic hurricane season is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. I'm Trey Westerberg with your news flash.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
There's something you should know and always remember. SportsGrid does not increase luck. We're your unfair advantage for the latest sports gaming information. If you're looking for luck, go find a horseshoe. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to Football Full Circle with Scott Wetzel and Ben Stevens.
Live right here on Football Full Circle, it is FFC. Scott, we continue discussing Kirk Cousins, who, of course, will be one of the 3 subjects of the second season of the Netflix documentary series titled Quarterback. Joe Burrow and Jared Goff, the others. And, of course, Cousins' 2024 campaign, his first in Atlanta and maybe his only as that starting quarterback for the Falcons, was rather tumultuous. Kirk Cousins benched late in the year for the rookie Michael Penix Jr. We were discussing as Kirk said, how he felt misled by the Falcons organization in drafting Penix Jr. 8th overall. Kirk was, we were, basically everybody was. But one of the reasons it is such a confounding situation is what we are seeing now before our very eyes because of the financial investment in signing Kirk Cousins now 2 off seasons ago. 4 years, $180 million deal with $100 million guaranteed. And up front, Falcons can't really get rid of him because of the finances involved, and so just have to keep him on the books as the league's by far most expensive backup quarterback. Might that change entering 2025 or at some point during the season? I would say there is a chance that it does. But Scott, it also presents an interesting situation for now the second-year pro, Michael Penix Jr., who made a few starts at the tail end of last year, but now it's truly his team, right? He has the keys to the franchise, and Atlanta, after using that 8th overall pick, is hoping he turns out to be that guy for many years to come. There is the idea, however, that if Kirk Cousins is on the roster at any point through 2025, and Penix Jr. is struggling, and the Falcons are struggling, is Atlanta willing to punt on the year and say, hey, we'll let the rookie quarterback ride it out? Or would those calls for the experienced and expensive backup of Kirk Cousins become louder in the A? Everybody involved right now with the organization saying the right things. We're all in the same room. We're all working to the eventual goal of winning football games. You know that speak as we get ready for a new season. But once the actual games start, Scott, what then?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, right? We talk about all the quarterback battles around the NFL, the Orleans with the Giants, maybe a few others, right? Yeah. People just generally don't bring up Atlanta because it is a foregone conclusion, seemingly, that it's going to be Penix Jr.'s job. But I don't know, Ben, is it a 50-50 thing? What would it take for Kirk Cousins to win the starting job back? Because if they don't find any takers, right, and it's mid-August now, and no quarterbacks have gotten hurt around the NFL, and all these teams are set, and the Falcons are looking at, all right, we're on the hook for $37 million. We can't trade him. So, he's actually been better than Penix Jr. I mean, we did bring him in here. We did pay him $100 million. You look at our starting 4 or 5 games, it's not that bad. Tampa Bay at home, Minnesota, Carolina, a couple of home games after that are tough, but at least they're at home, Washington and Buffalo after a bye. I mean, we could really, start this process all over again and then just have Penix on the bench. So I wonder what it would take for him to win that starting job versus him just foregone conclusion. It's Penix Jr.'s job, and we're going to ride him from here on out.
Yeah, it is interesting, Scott, when you take everything into what the situation is in Atlanta. Again, just from the financial perspective on the 4-year deal for Kirk Cousins, earlier in the offseason, can't remember exactly what date it was. It was around the start of the league year, but it was a big one because that's when the $27.5 million of guaranteed salary went into effect for Cousins. His cap number this year is $40 million. If he were to be released at any point this offseason, now post-June 1, it's $50 million in terms of the dead money that Atlanta would have to offer up. They're not going to do that. If he were to be traded at any point the remainder of this offseason, that cap number has dropped substantially post-June 1 to $12.5 million of dead money, or the idea of a trade, Scott, for another NFL franchise and some organization that might need a quarterback throughout training camp, or dare I say, week 4, 5, or 6 in the 2025 campaign. That's where things can get a little bit more interesting, perhaps, for Kirk Cousins not being a member of the Atlanta Falcons. His cap number only rises the next few years, so Atlanta will have some of that liability, but the guaranteed salary of this season, $27.5 million, drops to $10 million in 2026, and no guaranteed salary, Scott, starting in 2027. That at least is the financial scenario around the Cousins contract in Atlanta.
All right, so it makes it a little bit easier if they hold on to him for a little while, right? I mean, the obvious teams, Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh, if he should get hurt in the preseason, Tua Tags, Miami, both those quarterbacks are more than capable of getting hurt. There's probably a couple of others out there. So they might be able to move him. Listen, I didn't think the Dolphins would ever be able to find someone to take Jalen Ramsey and his guaranteed $25 million salary, and they did. So, as soon as you say, well, no one's going to take that money on, You never know. It wouldn't be easy for a team. You'd have to figure out how much the new team acquiring him's cap hit would be. If you're going to add 20 million, 25 million, that's tough to do midstream. It is. But listen, I'm a big believer in, where there's a will, there's a way. I wouldn't give up on it just so quickly, just because you are a win now team, right? You bring the new head coach in, Raheem Morris, been there before, but you know what I mean? He's a new head coach. You got all these good players. They should be a good team. They're in a winnable division. You got to win now. So, God forbid something should happen to Penix, and he's had his injuries right in college. I think at this point, I'd hold on to him for one more year, unless someone was really going to, throw a first-round draft to us, which I doubt. At me. I think I'd hold on to him.
Yeah, I agree, Scott. Listen, there's a lot that could happen even before this season begins, let alone once the season begins with that quarterback scenario. Again, Penix Jr. started the final 3 games for Atlanta in 2024. They needed to win a few of those to earn a playoff spot or contend with the Buccaneers in the division. It did not happen, even losing in overtime at home against the Carolina Panthers in week number 18. And there was a time where the Saints were up multiple scores on the Bucs trying to keep Tampa from winning the division. The Buccaneers needed to lose and the Falcons needed to win for Atlanta to have a chance in the NFC South. Tampa did end up rallying to claim the NFC South divisional crown for a 4th consecutive year. Again, one more point on the Falcons, Scott, because you said this is not a team that's like, all right, well, we basically have Penix Jr. in his full rookie season for the first time. Let's go out there and be competitive and win 6 or 7 games. No, Atlanta is priding itself on contending for that divisional championship entering 2025. Is it the reality? We'll discuss next.
There's smart and there's not smart. Not smart is hope as a strategy. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Keep it here and win. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1889, John L. Sullivan defends the last officially sanctioned bare knuckles World Heavyweight Prizefighting Championship. Jack Kilrain's trainer throws in the towel after 75 one-minute rounds in Mississippi. Bare knuckle boxing started in England, and the first newspaper report of a boxing match dates from 1681. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
New research at the University of Bern, Switzerland suggests artificial intelligence superior to humans at suggesting appropriate behavior in emotionally charged situations.
I suggest you put down the duck.
Unemotional, non-human AI trained on psychological research dispassionately diagnoses emotionally charged situations in real time, assessing and diffusing the chance of a dangerous outcome.
You might be calmer if your wife stopped tickling you.
One step closer to AI with actual emotional intelligence.
Next time, let go of the bowling ball.
Follow me at G Capalbo on X and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
The early line.
Matt LaFleur's been there, done that. He's had a lot of success in the regular season, and if you're looking for an upgrade here, here's what it's going to be. Josh Jacobs, just stay healthy. What an engine last year. What a phenomenal pickup there in the backfield. You take a look at Jordan Love. It's up to him to take that next step. Just got married here. You take a look at Dobbs, Reed, and Golden. Golden, a draft pick here, adding that extra speed.
It's the early line with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. There comes a point when the chips are down. To coin a phrase. When the only thing you can do is stop and wait. Do you want to face that moment prepared or rely on luck? Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to Football Full Circle with Scott Wetzel and Ben Stevens.
So what is the 2025 season prognosis for the Atlanta Falcons? Well, 7.5 is the win total for the Dirty Birds, and the over has the juice at minus 130. Anytime you are one of the 4 teams competing in the NFC South, there is a chance you can win the division if you can just be above 500. And that's not necessarily a shot, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have won this division 4 consecutive years. But heck, even with the great one in Tom Brady now 3 seasons ago, they did win the divisional crown with a sub-500 record. The Bucs are the even money favorite, Scott, to win the NFC South at plus 100. But again, the Falcons win total 7.5. Over has the juice. You're flirting around that 500 mark, 8-9, 9-8. And the Dirty Birds price to win the NFC South is plus 240. There is no doubt an expectation in Atlanta, Michael Penix Jr. being that starting quarterback or not. The Falcons think they can compete for that NFC South divisional crown this season.
Yeah, I have my doubts, Ben. I do.
Right.
You know, until teams like Atlanta, you know, prove me wrong, I generally side with the conservative side of things, and that is they come up short. They just have. You know, rooting for Raheem Morris. I told you many times, used to do play-by-play at Hofstra when he was here. You could play in college at Hofstra, so I'm rooting for the guy. But it hasn't happened for them for whatever reason. I don't think it's a lack of talent. They do have talent. A lot of these rosters don't have talent, and they don't get it done. Arizona Cardinals, look at their offense. They got terrific players on offense. They don't seem to get it done. So, yeah, you're going to find that one team that goes from last, not that they were in last place, you know, from first. I get that. But until they do, you know, could they get to 9 wins, you know, or 8 wins, 7.5? Yeah, I think they could probably go 8 and 9. They got one less home game being in the NFC this year. Schedule's not daunting. It's, you know, neither here nor there. It's not really easy, not really, really hard. But they should, with the talent they have on offense, they should get to 8 wins, 9 wins. But are they going to get to 10, which is what I think it's going to be to win that division and certainly make a playoff? I doubt it. I really do.
Yeah, me too, Scott. Again, could they get to 8? Could they go over the win total? Yeah, I guess. But if you're going to be an 8-9 football team, even in the NFC South, I do not anticipate that you are winning your division. And frankly, Scott, if we're talking about a team that could win a division, the Bucs win total, for instance, is 9.5. And the under has a slight bit of juice. If we're talking about these teams in relative context to other divisions in the NFC, NFC West, NFC North, and where things stand there, heck, even the NFC East with now the Eagles, the Commanders, and we expect some sort of bounce back for the Dallas Cowboys. 9-8 probably not going to make you a playoff team outside of maybe contending for that divisional crown. The Falcons' defense has to be better than it was in year number 1, once again under Raheem Morris, who comes from that defensive side of the football. Talent there offensively for Michael Penix Jr. to take advantage of. I'm a little bit skeptical. The one bright spot, Scott, for everybody playing in the NFC South, because you are in the NFC South, all 4 teams in this division have 4 of the 10 easiest schedules in the NFL. The Saints have the easiest, the Falcons the second easiest within this division, 3rd and 4th overall. The Panthers have the 7th easiest schedule, and the Buccaneers round out the top 10 in terms of the ease of it all. And the only reason the Buccaneers are at 10 with the hardest schedule out of the division is because they are the first place team playing that first place schedule within the NFC South.
Yeah, I don't think the Falcons' schedule is like that easy. Like I don't remember teams, but I remember looking at teams and seeing, boy, that's really easy. Like they got Buffalo, they got San Francisco. You know, they do play. You know, you mentioned their own division. Obviously, they play the LA Rams. You know, they get a lot of these games on the road that are easy, so it does set up. You know, if you're a mediocre to bad team, you want the winnable games at home. You want the losable games on the road because no matter where you play them, you're going to lose. So you might as well play those on the road. They do have it as a winnable team. They have Washington. They have Buffalo. But at home, you know, they got the Jets, you know, and they got Arizona, but on the road. So they got the winnable games, some at home, enough where you and then the you know, the winnable games on the road and then the really tough games at home. So if you are a decent football team, you get a split out of Washington, Buffalo. You're a decent football team, you get a split out of Jets in Arizona on the road. But I think that's exactly where they're going to be. 8 wins, maybe 9. Be in it in the last month. People talk like last year, but then, you know, come up short because they're just not that good.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Scott. Could they be in a race where it's not just the Buccaneers wrapping up the division by week 13? Yeah, probably more than likely. Winning the division or earning a playoff bid, not exactly expecting that out of Atlanta this year. We'll go elsewhere around the NFL, including, is there more quarterback controversy in Cleveland? And we're not talking about the performance on the field. That's next on Football Full Circle.
The Winning Edge. You've got it. But not everybody has it, because not everybody listens to us. But we're working on that. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. Paulo Banchero and the Orlando Magic have agreed to a 5-year, $239 million maximum rookie contract extension. The deal also has a player option for the 2030-31 season, the first time a rookie max extension has had a player option since 2021. He was the 22-23 NBA Rookie of the Year and earned his first All-Star selection in 2024. The Indiana Pacers have confirmed that Tyrese Halliburton will miss the entire 2025-2026 season after surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. He was hurt in Game 7 of the NBA Finals last month with Oklahoma City, going on to win the game and their first title in franchise history. Without Halliburton, the Pacers were outscored 56-43 in the second half as Oak City finished off a 103-91 victory. Halliburton's a two-time All-Star. He scored 9 points with 3 3-pointers before leaving that game. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Ever find a deal so good you think, should I tell my friends or keep it to myself? That's Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals. Styles for sunny days, home favorites for your space, and more. All at prices you'll love. Plus, earn Kohl's Cash, discover new deals daily, and get free shipping. These deals are too good not to share, once you've stocked up first. Shop Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end July 10th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
You're listening to SportsGrid, spreading the winning edge far and wide. Terrestrial, internet, TV, satellite, and don't forget our mobile app. Face it, the winning edge is everywhere. Somewhere there's a squirrel frustrated he can't get a phone. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to Football Full Circle with Scott Wetzel and Ben Stevens.
Live right here on Football Full Circle, it is FFC. Scott, as we go around the National Football League, maybe some quarterback news for the Cleveland Browns, who, of course, have a very jumbled QB room entering 2025. The old wily vet in Joe Flacco, the guy they traded for earlier in the offseason in Kenny Pickett, seeing if entering his 4th NFL season, there might be some upside left in the 2 guys the Browns drafted back in April. The 3rd rounder, Dylan Gabriel, and the 5th rounder, stopping his slide for Shedeur Sanders. Currently on the roster, or at least getting paid by the Browns, is Deshaun Watson, who is recovering from a ruptured Achilles, of the same Achilles that he ruptured during the season and early on during his recovery. So we do not expect to see Deshaun Watson play during 2025. Some news came out early in minicamp that Watson was going to try to provide some guidance to the young quarterbacks in the room, namely Shedeur Sanders. Well, Watson's personal quarterback coach, not the Browns quarterback coach, but Watson's individual QB coach, is a man named Quincy Avery, who is very vocal, known for his social media influence as well, who had this to say about Shedeur Sanders and his father, Dion, in the development of Shedeur at the quarterback spot. Quincy Avery saying, quote, "The reason I have such a difficult time with Dion is because so many of the things he does, it's about him rather than other people. I think that a lot of people miss that. So we get to see who he is as a person when he has to take on this team without his sons involved," referring to Colorado and its outlook moving forward now without Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, or even Shiloh Sanders. Scott, again, Quincy Avery doesn't work for the Browns, but it does add some conjecture and drama for a Browns quarterback room that, frankly, does not need any more of that drama this offseason.
Yeah, it's too bad the Browns don't play the Falcons. They can trade quarterback woe stories, right? I mean, one dopey move after another with the Browns, drafting 5,000 quarterbacks here and trying to figure out who's going to be number one. It's just, It's the Browns being the Browns. Why would you do that, right? I mean, Yeah, you're right. He's not technically a member of the Browns, but you're part of the Browns family. You're working with the Deshaun Watson, so you are in essence with the Browns. What? And it's not even like he took a shot at Deion saying, "Wow, I'm trying to work with Shador, and boy, he really has so much to learn. He didn't learn anything at Colorado. I'm starting from scratch here." He was ripping Deion as just being a coach and how he's going to fail. Apparently at Colorado now that his sons aren't there. I mean, what do you care? Who cares if he does? I mean, why would you bring that up? You're trying to bring in Shador. He clearly has some issues, right? Shador, so you want to embrace him and tell him he's a member of the Browns and we like you, blah, 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 blah. Instead, you attack his father? Why? I mean, you can't. Yeah. And where is Kevin Stefanski through all this, Ben? I don't get why Stefanski's getting the pass. Outside of the year, listen, has he taken him to the postseason a couple times? Yeah, I get that. And Joe Flacco would be the latest one. But where is he through all this stuff? He's supposed to be the leader. I brought up on a podcast, would a Tom Landry assistant coach back in the heyday with Dallas ever speak out? Bill Parcells didn't even allow his assistant coaches to talk to the media. Would a Bill Belichick an assistant? Again, I know he's not part of the Browns, but he has control. And just Stefanski kind of seems to get a pass on all this stuff. I don't know. It's the Browns being the Browns. You wonder why the team doesn't win? It's because of stuff like this. Why go out of your way to alienate the kid's father when you're trying to bring the kid into your organization? Makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm sure Kevin Stefanski would say, who's that Quincy Avery guy, even if he knows, not my issue, not my problem, but it kind of becomes that. I also think it's just an interesting choice by Avery himself to alienate Shador and go after Deion Sanders for something unrelated to Shador's development, really talking college football and what CU has entering 2025. It's also, though, Deshaun Watson's guy. So Deshaun would be like, dude, I just said I'm going to mentor this guy and try to help him out as I recover from my own ailment. You don't need to be talking about him. It's that personal connection there where there just seems to be some drama. And whether it's fair or not, it does follow the Cleveland Browns. It does have to do with the Cleveland Browns because you have two individuals in that very large and crowded quarterback room that are now having their names surfaced in headlines and reports and such. Scott, I think it's really interesting as well when you look at the Browns quarterback room and what we anticipate entering 2025. Again, because of injury, we are not going to see Deshaun Watson more than likely in 2025. Frankly, I'm not sure we ever see him again in a Browns uniform on the field, but we know the financial ties because of the worst contract this league has ever known. So you've got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders. And there are odds out for some quarterback battles on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Cleveland certainly included in that. Flacco is the favorite, followed by Kenny Pickett, followed by Dylan Gabriel, and then followed by Shador Sanders, who now has the longest price of the four at plus 870. I guess that would make some sense. The Browns didn't believe in Sanders even more than they believed in Dylan Gabriel, drafting those rookies first Gabriel in the third round, then Sanders in the fifth. So why would Sanders get the benefit of the doubt now in the actual quarterback room? It just seems to be an incredibly confusing thing that Cleveland is doing. Scott, I'm not sure there's a right or correct answer. What do you think is the best way forward for who that starting quarterback is going to be for the Browns week one?
Yeah. Personally, I would use Flacco. Because you look at their schedule, you talk about a tough schedule to start a season. I mean, this Brown season could implode quickly. Cincinnati, at Baltimore, Green Bay, at Detroit. All right. Are you going to win even, honestly, one of those games? I mean, you certainly won't with Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders, right? So throw them out the window. Could you win maybe with Kenny Pickett? Yeah, I can see that. So I would go Flacco just because that gives me the best chance to at least getting one, maybe two wins, any kind of luck. But I think it'll be Pickett, when everything is said and done. He's the one where, you have some experience, and he's the one that's still young enough, where, unlike with Flacco, obviously, where if he does do well, okay, you could win this team. You could be the starting quarterback. You survive this 4-game gauntlet. And you know what? You're going to get every benefit of the doubt being the quarterback the rest of the way versus Gabriel or Shador getting embarrassed the first 4 games. So I would go Flacco because I do think he is the best opportunity, but I think I would be betting on Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I would bet on Kenny Pickett as well. I think that's the correct decision for Cleveland. Joe Flacco, of course, in 2023, winning comeback player of the year, started the final 5 games for Cleveland, went nuclear, throwing for a ton of yards and touchdowns, leading the Browns to 11 wins. It also resulted in Kevin Stefanski winning his second Coach of the Year award in a 4-year span, only for the Browns to flame out in the postseason against the Texans in that game. We talk about Joe Flacco with the Browns like it was Joe Flacco with their divisional rival, the Baltimore Ravens, where he spent the first 11 years of his NFL career. Flacco only played in 6 games with Cleveland in his NFL career, and yet is thought of as that veteran in the organization to come back. I don't think that Joe should be the starter week 1. You traded for Kenny Pickett. I would allow him to try to have the upside, knowing Flacco is ever reliable if things get off the rails. I'll ask you a follow-up, Scott. Do you think we see Dylan Gabriel and or Shedeur Sanders start at least one game in 2025?
Yes. I'm not sure which one. Maybe both. It'll be interesting to see who dresses and who doesn't dress, and if that becomes a problem in the Browns locker room. Everyone's all happy right now. It's July, no big deal, but there's a pecking order. Okay, where do I stand? I'm not even dressing, let alone starting. So, but ultimately, yeah, I do because I think the Browns season's got to go off the rails. So to me, there's no reason why to play Flacco. And if Pickett fails, like I think he probably eventually will, you got to play those guys at least once or twice.
It'll be interesting, though, for a quarterback room in an organization where often in the NFL, you're not carrying 4 quarterbacks, sometimes let alone 3, who survives to make the 53-man roster from the very start. Plenty more on FFC up next.
We're not saying every SportsGrid listener is a legend, but you might start thinking about who's going to play you in the movie. Just saying. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
With your news flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. This update brought to you by Fidelity. The death toll from catastrophic flooding in Texas over the July 4th weekend surpassed 100 on Monday as search and rescue teams continued the massive search for missing people. Searchers have found the bodies of 84 people, including 28 children in the county home of Camp Mystic and several other summer camps. The National Hurricane Center is tracking 4 tropical waves, including one in the Caribbean. The next named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season will be Dexter. So far, 2 of the Atlantic season's 3 named storms, Barry and Chantal, have formed earlier than historical averages. Forecasters have been predicting the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season will be above normal. Based on a 30-year climate period from 1991 to 2020, an average Atlantic hurricane season is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. I'm Trey Westerberg with your news flash.
Ever find a deal so good you think, should I tell my friends or keep it to myself? That's Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals. Styles for sunny days, home favorites for your space, and more. All at prices you'll love. Plus, earn Kohl's Cash, discover new deals daily, and get free shipping. These deals are too good not to share, once you've stocked up first. Shop Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end July 10th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Remember when you were thankful you could just get AM and FM? Things have progressed. Now even an app on your phone can give you a 21st century thrill with that little drop of heaven called the deposit notification. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to Football Full Circle with Scott Wetzel and Ben Stevens.
Live right here on Football Full Circle, it is FFC. Scott, we were talking about the Cleveland Browns, some quarterback drama within their room because of Deshaun Watson's personal quarterback coach, Quincy Avery, calling out his new teammate in Cleveland's father. That would be Deion Sanders, who unlike his kids, both Shedeur and Shiloh, and his adopted son of sorts in Travis Hunter, are no longer at the collegiate level. Deion Sanders, still the head coach at Colorado. And this week, Scott, in Arlington, inside AT&T Stadium, Big 12 Media Days are continuing on, or inside the Ford Center, whatever it ends up being. Big 12 Media Days, though, happening this week. We've got half of the league. That would be 8 schools speaking today, half tomorrow on Wednesday. Colorado, one of the 8 schools, set to take the stage, the diocese, and the podiums tomorrow. Of course, that will feature a lot of conversation around Deion Sanders. Colorado has been a little bit quiet this offseason without Shedeur there, without the reigning Heisman winner and Travis Hunter there as well. But it doesn't mean, Scott, they are not going to look to have success, of course, in 2025. But it almost seems as though Deion Sanders, who was such a needle mover in offseason college football conversation the last 2 summers, it's kind of faded from memory a little bit here as we get ready for 2025.
Yeah, and it's too bad that this is what the Big 12 needs, right? They need someone who's going to be the next Texas or Oklahoma. Someone's got to be the linchpin for that conference. It's a decent conference. It's not at the the Pac-12 level, God forbid. But it's also not at the SEC or Big 10 level either. And then you can make the case it's probably below the ACC even, because at least the ACC's got Clemson in it. So they got a couple, and now SMU, baby. So who's going to emerge? So the one time they kind of need him to be, vocal or make some news is the one time that he's actually quiet. He's had some health issues. And I will say this about what was said. It is true. Okay, now let's see. We're all kind of thinking that. All right, now you don't have Sanders, and now you don't have your sons, and now you don't have Travis Hunter. So are you able? We've seen a lot of head coaches. He wouldn't be the first head coach that was only able to bring in one recruiting class and then flame out. So he wouldn't be the first one. So let's see. Kind of moment of truth in Colorado. Everything you hear, he is bringing in some kids, but it takes a lot. Basketball, you can live on 1 or 2 kids. Football, you need a lot of good players. So it is kind of interesting to know that things are kind of quiet in Colorado land. By the way, I'd like to see where that the quarterback's coach came from. Maybe he went to Air Force or Colorado State or something. Maybe he's got some axe to grind with Colorado. Who knows?
Is a Big 12 grinder and doesn't appreciate what CU is doing. One of the interesting things, Scott, at least to me right now, when you look at this Colorado program, listen, Deion Sanders had never been shy about building his program in a different way than what we are used to. It is also taking advantage of our current climate and structure of college sports, focusing more on the transfer portal, getting ready-made players, being able to pay up and lure some of that talent. This year, though, when you look at some of the rankings around 2025 transfer portal classes, Colorado, who had been near the top the last few years, a lot of guys leaving, but a lot of talented guys coming in. The Buffs 5th out of the 16 teams within the Big 12. So not bad. They're bringing in a decent amount of talent, even when they lose some. But what's interesting to me about Deion Sanders' future at Colorado, in Boulder, and wherever that might be in college football, is when you look at the high school recruiting rankings for the upcoming class that will take campus next fall in 2026. Colorado right now, Scott, is 97th nationally, behind Buffalo and slightly in front of New Mexico. They rank dead last, number 16 out of 16 within the Big 12 conference. Again, Deion Sanders has often said, I'm not as interested in high school recruits. It has been well documented that he hasn't really made some of those in-house visits or toured high schools around the country trying to find that talent. He really hasn't hit the road when it comes to recruiting. He has other people as a part of his staff and program doing that for him. But CU only has 6 commits for the 2026 class right now and ranks 97th nationally. Does that tell us anything about Sanders' future at Colorado or in Boulder? I'm not so sure. I'm not necessarily sure there needs to be speculation on it at the moment. But it's just an interesting wrinkle now, of course, in the post-Shedeur and post-Travis Hunter era for this Buffs program.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? I mean, those are your core players. Those are the guys you bring in, and you can actually sit down in front of mom and pop and sell your program and say, be with me. I'm going to be here for the next 4 years. You're going to be the core, whether it's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. I mean, think about, for the most part, not 100%, but for the most part, when you're going into the transfer portal, who are you getting? You're getting a kid that was successful at a lower program and now wants to improve his situation and go to a better team. So you're taking a risk there, or you're taking a failure. A kid who went to Clemson, Miami, pick a school and couldn't play. That's who, basically you're getting. So why would you want to live on that when you could go get the high school kid, maybe not play him right away, but at least certainly have him on your program and build him and have him be a starter year number 2 or 3? Right. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Unless they're just throwing $1 gazillion at a bunch of transportal people and say, come to my schools because we're going to pay you more. But I don't think that's the case in Colorado. So that is kind of strange.
And again, this transfer portal class entering in 2025 for CU has a ton of talent. They got a guy out of Alabama, an interior D lineman named Jaheim Otis, who will make his way over. Caden Salter, who had success at the quarterback spot for Liberty, probably in a quarterback battle as we speak in Boulder, alongside Juju Lewis, who is the second-rated quarterback recruit in this 2025 class from the high school level that picked Colorado in front of USC and many others. So Deion Sanders still bringing in talent, but when you think about the future and the long haul and all those ideas of how you typically build a program in college football, not exactly a recipe for success right now for CU. By the way, the Buffaloes' win total entering 2025 in the competitive and often chaotic Big 12 is 6.5. The under has the hefty juice at -184. Could be bowl eligibility, but a conference title contender within the Big 12, maybe not necessarily the case. I got to run. They're using the studio for some interviews today. Scott Wetzel will take you home on the other side of the break here on FFC.
Luck is winning the lottery. Strategy is settling your divorce before cashing in the tickets. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. SportsGrid TV and radio networks are the premier streaming video and audio channels dedicated to serving the sports wagering audience. Found on major smart TV platforms and streaming on SportsGrid Radio and SiriusXM Channel 159. SportsGrid's real-time data, expert commentary, and entertaining analysis transform viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Our weekday radio lineup begins with the early line at 8 a.m. Eastern with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Donnie joins Kevin Walsh on Moneyline at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by Football Full Circle at noon Eastern. Kaplan and crew join the party at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Pharrell Coast to Coast keeps things rolling from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Get in the mix with Kevin Walsh and Game Time Decisions at 6 p.m. Eastern. Evenings simmer with Carver and Lisi, then boils over with Gabe Moritzi on Sports Rage Late Night at 10 p.m. Eastern. To find out where to find SportsGrid that's best for you, go to sportsgrid.com. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Imagine combining the exciting investment opportunity of cryptocurrencies with the power of artificial intelligence to maximize your IRA, 401k, or other investment funds. Listen, if you're looking for ways to accelerate your retirement growth, Block Trust IRA has market-leading strategies and solutions for all levels of investors, from $1,000 to millions. And they partner with Bitcoin Magazine's #1 crypto trading fund in the world to maximize your returns. Plus, their team of IRA specialists is here to help you roll over your IRA or qualified retirement account to the new world of cryptocurrency investments. So make this free call right now to set up your account and learn more.
800-434-5313. 800-434-5313. 800-434-5313. That's 800-434-5313.
It's stark but true. You can either listen to SportsGrid for strategies, odds, and more, or you can pay your bills by digging in your couch cushions for change. Just be sure to wear gloves. Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. You're listening to Football Full Circle with Scott Wetzel and Ben Stevens.
All right, welcome back. It is Football Full Circle here on the grid. So, looking at we're talking Colorado, Ben and I, with the Buffalo's win total being 6.5. Can they get? You think 6.5? All right, they'll get the 7 wins, but again, this is not NFL; it's college football. We have 12 games, so you have 5 losses to play with. Can they go 7-5? You would think yes, because they got Delaware on their schedule at home. So realistically, they have to go 6-5. I will say this about Colorado. That's the only cupcake on their schedule. They don't have any monster games, and they have 7 of their 12 games at home, as a lot of these programs do. But Delaware's the only one. You go to the SEC teams, and it's a complete joke, their non-conference schedule. I mean, it's Topeka High, Topeka Junior High, and Topeka Junior High with some of these teams. So at least Colorado, to their credit, has some decent clubs. But when you talk about over-under totals, you'd rather have the Topeka Highs on there, right? So they open up with Georgia Tech, decent team, nothing crazy, but, I like that Tech team. Then they got the Delaware game. And it's kind of funny. You have 3 or 4 on your schedule. Those are going to determine whether you go over or under, no matter who it is. It is always, maybe not even 4. There's 2 or 3 games. That Georgia Tech game is one of them. They win. Now you beat Delaware next week like you think you would, and now you're 2-0, and now you're on your way. You lose to Georgia Tech, probably still beat Delaware. You're 1-1, and man, it's just the whole big difference. Then you play at Houston, which will be a tough game for them. And you got Wyoming and BYU at home. So 5 games, 4 of the first 5 are at home. If they're going to get to 7 wins, they have to go 3-2 at absolute worst. And I think they probably could. I don't think they're going to beat BYU. I don't think they're going to beat Houston on the road. But they should be able to beat Tech, Delaware, and Wyoming. And like I said, the Tech game is the kind of the flip of the coin, right? That's still a halfway decent team. Wyoming last year was awful. BYU was very good. If they keep their quarterback, who knows how that's going to turn out. That's probably going to be a loss. Then you play at TCU. That's a tough one. Iowa State. You got to go 1-1. Now you're at 4-3. At Utah, never easy. 4-4. Arizona at home, 5-4. West Virginia on the road. Let's give them credit and say 6-4. Can they beat Arizona State or Kansas State on the road? Yeah. That they should be right there. They should. You're number 3 also for Dion. It seems like he just got there, but this is the 3rd year. It's kind of a pivotal year. They're kind of starting all over, and if they don't get 8-9 wins, 18-1 to make the playoffs. I don't think that's happening. But it's a year, it's a conference which is crying, as I told Ben, really, it is just for someone to step up and be, the team. Could it be BYU? Could it be Baylor? They've taken a couple steps back. It's been a few years since TCU played the national championship. Don't think it's going to be them. Utah's finally looking for a new quarterback. They've had the same one for the last 25 years, it seems like. Bunch of Texas Techs and Oklahoma State, but they've never been able to, be the kingpin. They're always that second-class citizen. Kansas State's taken a couple steps back. So, yeah, I can't wait. Got my Mark Lawrence playbook on order. I will say this, free little plug for Mark. The books are in. I put my order in. So as soon as I get that, then it's really college football season. And I can break down all the nuggets that he has in his playbook, which is college football and NFL preview. I do enjoy that. I really do. So, and some of these over-unders in college football, they're tough, boy. They have it right on a dime. Like I said, it boils down to 2 or 3 games. It really does. So Colorado would probably be one I would stay away from. I will say this, they're giving you plus 148 with the over. Does FanDuel allow you to parlay these? Let's see. I could say yes right now, and then it would be no tomorrow. Right now, they do, actually. All right. So if you got to lay the juice on some of these, then don't worry about that because you actually can put these in parlays right now anyway. But in the end, ultimately, is it going to be anybody different than the top 4 or 5 college football teams? When you look at the national championship odds, you got Texas as the favorite at 5-1, Georgia 6-1, even though, the quarterback situation's, up in the air a little bit. Ohio State 6-1, Penn State, Alabama 10-1, Clemson 11-1. It's the same 5-6 teams every single year. You could not know anything about college football. Be fast forwarded from 1995, and you could pick probably 8 of the top 10 teams ranked in preseason polls in college football. It's the same old same. It really is. So enjoy your Tuesday, folks. Ben and I will be back tomorrow right here. Football Full Circle on the Grid. SportsGrid.
You found the advantage for gaming, odds, and more. But we call it the winning edge for short. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.